Okay? This guy, here it is right here. Okay? On these torso models, they kind of hide it. Okay? They hook it in here with this long, here's the diaphragm, here's the spleen right here. Okay? So, 3 different spleens. Okay? Lymphatic nodules. What lymphatic nodules, you guys, are, they're not lymph nodes. Lymph nodes actually have lymph vessels coming into it, afferent, and then the lymph filters through it, and then it leaves it by efferent lymph vessels. Lymph nodules just start, and then they just drain lymph from there. And so they're really just a big collection of immune cells, mostly lymphocytes, and they're placed in very strategic locations where your body would get exposed to antigens or bacteria or viruses and stuff. And so one of them is the tonsils, okay? And so these tonsils, and you can see them there, you have a pharyngeal tonsil, 2 palatine tonsils, and a lingual tonsil, okay? And we're gonna look at these in respiratory also, and I'll show you later down the road on the big nose model where they're at too. But right here, this would be your palatine tonsil. That's the one that you look at in the back of your mouth, you know, and you have one on both sides. Does anybody here have those removed? Okay, I have too. We don't remove them as much as we used to. Now, in the back of the nasal cavity here is one big tonsil here, and that's the pharyngeal tonsil. You'll hear it by its more common name, the adenoids. Anybody have their adenoids out? Me too. The adenoids can get so big that they block the nasal pharynx right here, and you can't breathe through your nose. So if you have a little kid that all of a sudden is a mouth breather, is breathing through his mouth, you need to take him and see, is he having a problem? He can't breathe. Because if he breathes long enough through his mouth, he'll habitually become a mouth breather. Now, I'm habitually a mouth breather because of that.
Horrible breath.
Because my parents weren't sophisticated. And so their response, my dad's response to me breathing, walking around with my mouth open was to, bam, close your mouth. Bam, close your mouth. So I'd close it and turn red, and he'd walk away. And it wasn't until my palatine tonsils got big and I was having sore throats, and they'd go, oh, well, now we got to do something. And the doctor would go, you know, you really need those adenoids out. So you can psychologically traumatize your kid.
Do you get sleep apnea also?
Not really, no. No, that's a little different. That's where the tongue, everything kind of collapses and blocks it off here. So, lingual tonsil, we don't see it really good, but it would be at the base of the tongue, sort of that tissue right there. Okay. So these are the tonsils. You can see they're strategically located where things are coming in. Like, as you breathe, it's going to hit this. Okay. Same thing as you eat, it's going to go past these palatine tonsils. So, they're there for that. Appendix. Who's had their appendix out? One. Just that's it. So, here's your appendix. When we do GI, we'll actually give it its formal name. It's a variform appendix. Variform appendix. And
just the little ring piece?
Yeah. And here it is here, hanging down here like a little finger here.
Do we know what it does, or just?
We're going to talk about that in digestion.
Where is it?
What's that?
Where is it on here?
Right there. The little Peyer's patches. Appendix. Did they take it out through little holes or big holes?
What was that?
They take it out through little holes or big hole? Do you get it laparoscopically, or they make a big,
No,
just
they made a hole.
a big cut? Yeah. We take those out through the laparoscope mostly now. I actually had it was about 3 years ago. A girl walked in the class, was taking a class from me about the second week. She comes up to me. She's like 24 or 25. She goes, Dr. Pipple, you took my appendix out when I was 7.
Oh,
And I go, really? Show me your scar. She goes, yeah, see? Well, she was really happy with it. I was happy, she was happy. Okay, so we're going to do GI. This is a model of a common wall of the intestines. And there's something called Peyer's patches where you have lymphatic tissue, and they're kind of there guarding from things getting in. And that's what this blue thing is right here. So this is a Peyer's patch right here. That's a Peyer's patch. Okay? Now, what we're going to look at in lecture is that you collect lymph from the tissue. If you didn't collect lymph, you would be edematous. This is a way to get extra interstitial fluid back into the blood, okay? And all these lymph vessels collect and drain back into two locations. And right where the crotches meet between the subclavian vein and the internal jugular. And on the right side is going to be the right thoracic duct. We don't see it here, but that's where it would be located. It's going to drain basically 1/4 of your lymph. 3/4 of your lymph is drained by a large lymphatic vessel called the thoracic duct, and it empties in right here, and that's it right there in green. We love this thing. You see it right here. That is your thoracic duct, emptying in right there. Okay? You want to make sure you know that one. Everybody okay with the thoracic duct?
The line and highlight.
Okay. So let me walk you guys up and show you these slides.